So they just did this report where you have what they're saying is a subject, a male subject. They're saying that he killed his wife and that he killed his child. They're saying that he had killed his wife, and so they found the woman's body at their home. And then he was on the bridge. He was on this bridge right here. So they're going to do a report about this bridge, and you're going to see a news conference. And of course, the police say he's a subject, right? He's a subject of the king. Is that he's a subject instead of like, you know, a person? So that bothers me a little bit. The biggest thing that bothers me is the 8-year-old kid was in the back seat. So they said the man brandished a gun and then they shot him and then he falls off the bridge and then they find his dead body in the water. But the 8-year-old was in the back seat. And then I'm supposed to believe that the police didn't shoot the 8-year-old, right? The man didn't brandish a gun and they didn't shoot a fucking 15 billion shots. And then when they shot 15 billion shots, none of those shots hit the kid, right? And then how am I supposed to believe it? Because they said so. They said so. I'm just supposed to take their word for it? Well, another interesting part about this, they won't tell us the names. They won't tell us who the man is, who the woman that he killed was, nor who the 8-year-old was. We don't even know who the damn names are. And we're supposed to just take them at their word? And then the media isn't going to confront the police. They're not going to confront the fascists. They're just, you know, regular citizens. And what, she's going to go and confront the police? No, she, you know, there's a dead body. She got a picture in front of the bridge, and that'll be it. This would probably be the last report you'll see News Center Maine do. So let's take a listen.
Lanes, it opened up around 10 a.m. this morning, but before that, the bridge was closed for about 7 hours while officers tried to negotiate with the man who police believe is connected to his wife's murder. Officials say the man called 911 around 2 this morning to tell them that his wife was dead inside their home. 30 minutes after that call, he was found in his car on the bridge by Maine. And
so they said they believed that he shot him. He fucking called 911 and told him. Man.
New Hampshire State Police. Officials say during the negotiation, the man got out of his car and showed a firearm. Maine State Police Trooper Craig Nielsen and 2 other New Hampshire troopers shot and killed the man before he could fire his gun.
The male subject was located deceased in the water below the bridge and was declared dead in the scene. He fell from the bridge. The male subject was recovered by the Coast Guard at that time, almost immediately after falling into the water.
Now, police say after they found the body of an 8-year-old boy in the car that the man was driving, the child had been shot and killed. Now, Maine State Police say the gunfire was not by the troopers that used deadly force, but they haven't exactly confirmed how the boy was killed. The incident is still under investigation, and the troopers involved, the Maine State troopers involved, are being placed on administrative leave.
So they get a paid vacation. Awesome. Okay, here's another.
Details are pretty limited, but we know it happened on this bridge that is a major artery connecting New Hampshire and Maine. This is the Piscataqua River Bridge. It's a major artery connecting
the Piscataqua River Bridge. Let's take a look at where this is actually located. This is on I-95. So as you can see, I-95 actually goes all the way through to New York and probably all the way down to Florida, but it goes through a whole bunch of states: Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire. And you see the dot where the Piscataqua River Bridge is. It's right there on the corner or on the edge of Maine and New Hampshire, but you can see how it's kind of close to Concord. What is it, about 30 minutes from Concord, and then it's like less than an hour from Boston. So this should give you, you know, just an idea. Maine's up here. Here's the little dotted line that separates New Hampshire from Maine and Massachusetts. So it's kind of barely in New Hampshire. It's just right here on this corner. And so that's why you kind of have Boston and Maine News who's covering it. So let's back to this report. I'm sure they're going to tell us the name, and then they're going to repeat the same lie. Well, the cops said that they didn't shoot the kid, and then they only said that the man had showed a gun. Really, then there should be body camera, right? There should be dash camera of this. So we need to see all this stuff.
Police say that it closed early this morning after it appears, according to the Attorney General, that a New Hampshire man killed a woman, possibly his wife, before police found him on the bridge. Initial reports indicate there was some type of altercation between police and the man before officers did shoot and kill him. Police then went up to the man's car where they found the body of an 8-year-old child inside. How exactly this all happened, who this man is, all of that is still under investigation. The bridge opened back up not too long ago, but it was closed before 5 this morning, causing a lot of traffic headaches for people heading to work or maybe...
Oh, no, not traffic headaches. So here's just another article, which, I read, and it, no names, you don't know who it is, but it does say the reason they claim that the boy wasn't shot and killed, and then later on, the evidence for that, well, the police said that it wasn't involved. Well, that's not really, I guess that's a statement from somebody. Was that person that you got the statement from at the scene at all? So you got the Piscataqua, you got the idea of where it's at. You have, this is, a close up to the same thing we just saw before. And then New Hampshire has a governor's race that's going on. I couldn't figure out who exactly was running against who. So I think, she's running, this one, Ayotte, and then I think this lady is running too. But I'm not sure if those are the two top ones, and this is, election season, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But I was going to start covering the news items. There's 11 governor's races in 2 territories. Puerto Rico and American Samoa has governor's races. So I was just going to start reporting some of the goings-on in their respective communities. So, the few things I want to say a couple things. I want to say that we need to learn our civics, right? You had other options. You had plenty of other options in crimes. But if we don't uphold our civil liberties, a lot of people want to get pissed off at, like, protesters, right? They want to get pissed off at protesters and try to say, hey, you can't protest. You can't use speech. You can't do peaceful assembly. I would rather people do the peaceful assembly. I'd rather them read the Constitution and find out what your fucking American freedoms are. The whole point of you being a goddamned American is your founding fucking documents. Why the fuck say the Pledge of Allegiance when you say for liberty and justice for all when you don't mean liberty and justice for all? The reason why we've got to learn our civics is because of dumb shit like this. I'd rather folks petition and assemble to speak and pray. Use your freedom to religion. Write a letter. Use the press. You have a right to be silent. Use the cops and the courts. Use contracts and the speedy and public jury trials with impartial juries. Vote. Run for office. Use witnesses and evidence to prove your point. Instead of a fucking criminal society who robs and rapes and tortures and abuses and kidnaps and kills and arsons and maims and bears false witness, molests and oppresses, and terrorizes and criminalizes. I would rather have a free society, not a criminal society, not an obedient society that doesn't know what the fuck is going on. And I want Americans to understand that we all have freedoms. This is a free country, is it not? This is a free country. The Statue of Liberty says it's a free country. Our Constitution says it's a free country. Why say the pledge? Why say any of these things? Why say we're free? Why sing the song, you're proud to be an American, where at least you're free? Are we free? People are about to throw out classical liberalism, which that's the conservative perspective. The conservative perspective is we have laws, obey the laws. Well, our freedoms is what we're allowed to do. A lot of laws are saying don't do this, but our freedoms is what we're allowed to do. And so we need to get used to people petitioning and assembling and speaking and praying and writing letters, using the press and the silence and the juries and all the rest of it, and stop with the robbing and the raping and the torturing and the kidnapping and the murdering and the arson and the maiming. Jesus fucking Christ. Stoic logic confounds irrational sophists. Stoic logic confounds irrational sophists. Motherfuckers don't know what the fuck is going on, so they just kiss somebody else's ass who they think will protect. Oh, protect me, daddy. Your fascist child-beating fucking daddy. Oh, he beat my mama and beat my brothers and sisters, and he beat me too, so... Oh, I sure do love how he has a good, strong hand. He just knows. I'd also like people to, speak about Kamala's positions, precisely for once. She's in the upper right-hand side of the political compass. This means she's conservative and authoritarian. She's not communist. She's not a liberal. She's not left-wing in the fucking least. communism, socialism. Liberal is for change. It's for the heart. It's for the community. I want people that have heart, and we need change. Perfection requires constant change. And we need to be for all the people. When it comes to these families, these family issues, who did he reach out to? How many people would he have, if he would have reached out beforehand, how many people would have fucking listened? Socialism just means you're for the people, says Fred Hampton. And if you're afraid of socialism, then you're afraid of yourself. Fred Hampton also says, where there's people, there's power. So this whole damn case pisses me off. I presume the worst, hope for the best, presume the worst. And what's the worst? Well, the worst is he called 911. He's got his kid in the back seat. He's feeling stupid and suicidal and murderous and homicidal. He's about to lose his fucking mind. The cops are sitting there yelling at him, don't know that the kid's in the back seat, don't give a shit about anybody or anything. I bet you, as a betting man, it's basically 50-50 anyways, did the guy kill him or did the fucking police kill him? It's either one or the other. It's an open-ended question. Anybody else fucking wonder about this shit? What about the people that's running for, was it Warmington or Craig or Morse or Oyoti? Do they fucking wonder about any of this shit? Because if the police open fucking fire because the guy brandished a gun, you're allowed to have open carry. He calls 911. Why would he call 911? To set up a fucking goddamn dramatic goddamn confrontation on the bridge? He's about ready to jump off the fucking bridge. I bet you he called 911 to say, hey guys, I can't jump off this bridge. I love myself too much. I don't want to hurt my child. My child's right there. Take me into custody, and then take my kid and put him into foster care, put him in the orphanage, find some loving parents in order to take care of him. He reached out. He's trying to set up a deadly confrontation, do suicide by cop, and then he steps out of the car with a fucking gun in his hand, and then bang, 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 bang. So because these fucking parents are shit now, an 8-year-old kid is dead. What did the 8-year-old kid do? He called 911. This damn reporters, it doesn't make any sense. They think that there's a person, and then they found that the woman was dead. They found that they're good investigators. He told them on 911. He called 911 and just said what the fuck he did, and then set up this terrible situation, and you're telling me that he wanted to do this fucking, a shootout with a dozen fucking cops at 3 in the morning? He wanted to do a shootout with a dozen cops at 3 in the fucking morning? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I just don't believe any of it because they're not telling me the name. They're not telling me the name of the woman that he killed. They're not telling me the name of who he is, and they're not telling me who the 8-year-old is. And if they come back and say, well, due to the privacy, we're going to respect the privacy of these people. They are dead and gone. If we can't even talk about their names, and who the fuck are we talking about? We're not saying anything about anything. You're not protecting a corpse's privacy. The person who is dead and gone, you're not protecting their privacy whatsoever. And if other people want to say, well, hell, they got family and friends and neighbors and they don't want the attention. Where the fuck were they? Where the fuck were the friends and the neighbors and the families? I want these people, especially the 8-year-old's name, and I want people to say, remember, little Randy, remember little Mark, Luke, or John, whoever that little kid is. Remember what happened to him. And let this be a lesson to America. Let this be a lesson. What is the lesson learned? I'm, several states away, so there's very little I could have done to prevent the damn situation. But I can't look at this. I can ask questions, and then I can answer or ask the question, what is the lesson to be learned from all this? What is the lesson to be learned? Because if we don't evolve, if we don't get better after these dumbass incidents, this shit happens all the fucking time in America. It happens all the fucking time. Oyoti is going to keep New Hampshire safe, prosperous, and free. I mean, that sounds pretty good. Safety and prosperity and freedom. Well, hell, maybe we should get Oyoti. Well, not the 8-year-old kid. The 8-year-old kid isn't safe, prosperous, or free. So, I said my piece. Get to learning your civics. Get to learning your fucking Bill of Rights. It's not just the First Amendment and the Second Amendment. You got the Third Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment. We've been given an incredible gift, an incredible bequeathment. We got an incredible inheritance. And what we've inherited is a republic, and we have individual freedoms. And that means that guy gets to use his fucking, speech and protest and peacefully assemble. And that woman and those kids. We're Americans. Get used to Americans being free. But also stop with the fucking crime. Stop injuring people. We have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We get to protect our life, liberty, and limb. These are natural rights. These come from God, and that's where the whole Bill of Rights came from. Natural rights.